Hi, I live in zone 6B. I'm gonna be starting some winter veggies. They're gonna be simple, easy. If you're on a budget, this is perfect. Or if you're not, we're gonna try out this method and see how it goes. All right, so my name is Brianna, and I'm so excited to be able to start my winter veggies. I love the garden, I love being able to plant, so it's so much fun. What I'm doing is I really feel like with gardening, it's always fun to experiment and try things new, and that's what I'm doing this year. I went to the dollar store, I grabbed these trays. You could go to any store and grab them, really. But just found these cake pan. I feel like they're pretty nice steps for seeds and everything. So we're gonna start our seeds in here. You could put holes into them, I'm not going to. I'm just taking my cake pan, and then I have some soil. I like Pro Mix, it's a seed starting, and that's what you're wanting. You wanna make sure you get a seed starting and not just a normal soil mix, because you don't want a lot of bigger materials in there, whether that be wood chips or whatever kind of other organic materials. So this is really good. It's nice and thin, and it will be great for seed starting. So I'm just gonna fill up my tray here. Oh, and so I then took my soil. I like to always pre-soak everything so I don't need to water it, and then maybe there's bits of soil that's not. So I'm gonna fill it almost to the top, but not all the way, with soil. And one tool I love for gardening now, this is not as much for like seed starting, but that's what I'm using here today because I didn't know where my shovels were, but it's just this like gardening knife. Now I think they're like from Japan and some sort of like Japanese gardening knife. But y'all, they are amazing, especially if you're out weeding or trying to plant. And I prefer this over a shovel, honestly, for most things that I do. Now, our seeds, it's probably still too cold, even though we've had a super weird winter here. It's been dry, it hasn't even been as cold as it should be. I'm not ready to put these seeds outside quite yet. I will be putting them in my greenhouse, but you can also just put them in your house under a grow light. That's normally what I do. You don't even need any sort of special light either. I usually just use a shop light. You don't need a special gardening one or growing ones, so you don't need to go out and spend a lot of money either. Just go and get the cheapest like shop light you can get. They're like 20 bucks or something, and do it that way. So all right, I have my soil how I want it. And I just brought these tags on Amazon, but you could just do popsicle sticks or whatever else you have around the house. But I will take a popsicle stick for this. And first I am going to just cut this down the middle just to help sort the soil. So again, I'm trying things new. Normally I've seen people use like these cake pans, and they get that really fancy tool and they get into the dirt and then put it in, so it like actually puts out their seeds into a certain shape, like little squares. But I'm not going to do that. I wanted to go a little bit simpler, but kind of the same idea. So I have my I'm going to cut this in half again, just again to differentiate all my rows. So I'm just starting out. I have red cabbage and I have celery that I'm going to start out here. I'm going to do 2 rows of each. So I'm just going to come here and just kind of split down the middle slightly for each of these, so I have a little spot to put my seeds in. So a little tiny trench. And then what have we got? Celery and red cabbage. All right, so I got my red cabbage. We'll get this out. And like your cabbage is only 1/4 inch deep, so it really does not need to be that deep. So put that in. Last year when I planted these, I did them on little cups, and I like overfilled the cups. I was just like, oh, I will be able to plant them before they're ready. And then you know, just me being me, and I do crazy things, and then I gave birth, and then I just didn't get them into the ground or into bigger pots soon enough. So they honestly did not do as well as they should have. So after I do that, I'm just gonna fill these back in slightly to just bring that dirt or that trench together, and then they're kind of sit there. So I'm gonna do that again, and honestly I'm kind of getting lazy. I'm probably not spacing them like I should. If I need to later, I can kind of again plant or separate them and then kind of space them out a little bit if I need to. And then we'll go into my celery. I would love to be able to grow some wonderful celery. This year, I can't remember what happened. Honestly, I feel like gardening is just a big learning experience. We're all trying to figure things out and trying things new, because just because something doesn't work for someone doesn't mean it can't work for another. Like, you know, there's some caveats that, like, yeah, stuff is gonna work, and there's like stuff, but I always think sometimes there's just stuff you can learn and grow and just kind of experiment with stuff and try to figure things out. And maybe there's something new you've never tried before and you want to try it. And I say try it out, because again, you just never know what's going to work and what's not going to work and all that. So, and really with gardening, you don't even need all the expensive tools. You don't need to go out and get the nicest stuff out there. You can really just do it with basic stuff. You think of people who have been gardening for hundreds of years, thousands of years, and they did not have all the fanciest stuff. So just do with what you can find when you're doing things. You don't even have to start seeds. I prefer starting seeds. There's something just really fun. I've been able to plant all my own seeds and grow them and just see them from seeds go and do amazing things. But you really don't have to. You could easily just buy all this stuff and then start it. But we're gonna start seeds. That's the whole point of this video, right? So I have my celery, I have my red cabbage. You could get some with lids too and have like a little greenhouse effect. I'm just gonna try to make sure that I keep everything moist in here, so I won't die. So I'm moving to the rest of my seeds. Alright, so I'm going to keep planting all of my seeds here. I have some different types of, a few different types of a couple more cabbages, some broccolis, and some cauliflowers. Most of my seeds are from Baker Creek or MIgardener. I have a few from like other places, but those seem to be the two that I go towards. And like I had one from Baker Creek this year. Most of my seeds I actually got from MIgardener this year, which normally Baker Creek I just go crazy on, and I just had to change up. But I'm gonna finish planting all of these seeds. Hopefully this is like helpful with you guys, gets you guys excited for planting. Let me know if you guys do this, what stuff you're planting down below, and yeah, get started planting all of your seeds. It's gonna be a great growing year. We're gonna have so much fun. Let's go. If you guys liked this video and found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with a couple of friends, and I will see you guys hopefully next week. Hope you have a great day, great night. God bless.